Welcome to Meaningful Conversations live with Beata. Actually, welcome back. We are here every Tuesday at noon, and I'm so happy that you are with us today again. It's episode 110. Yes, and 110 is a special number. I believe in number one, and I have a number one sales guru with me here and very special guest, Che Brown. Che, welcome to the show. I'm very honored that you accept my invitation.
Well, it's a great day, Beata. I'm so happy and so excited to be in the building. First, let me just acknowledge all of your guests who are watching and those folks that are listening to the podcast. The promise is that this will be a good use of their time where they can walk away with maybe some lessons or some strategies or a framework that will help them not only achieve what they want out of life, but have more impact. And congratulations to you for putting on this podcast. You bring on guests and you give so much. So thank you for having me here. I'm super excited and I can't wait to get started.
Yes. Before we gonna go, and I'm gonna ask you this secret questions that none of my guests know about. Let me introduce you to our audience. So, Che Brown is successful entrepreneur. Probably, if you are just a little bit familiar with him, you know that. Founder of Champion Nation, creator of Sales Team Guru, the host of one of the best shows, Happy Entrepreneur Show. We will go at the end through all the forces that you can go through and find him. But right now, let's focus on our topic. Comeback champion with Che Brown. Well, Che, I'm just gonna go straight because there is so much that I want to know, and we have only some, limited time with you. So what is your comeback story? Maybe one that really impacted you and your surroundings. Tell me about that.
So there I was, by the way, going through a divorce. My sons were living with me. I was upstairs working as an entrepreneur, struggling out of money, giving everything I possibly had. And some of you that are listening right now, maybe you found yourself in that situation where things were going well, and then things started not going so well. And I'm working hard. And then all of a sudden, my sons come running up the stairs. Dad, there's someone still in the car. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening here? I'm working as hard as I can. I go out, I run down the steps. And as soon as I run down the steps, I look out my door, and looking out my door, there's my Lexus truck, RX 300. And I'm looking there, and there's a tow truck, and it's towing my car from the front of my house. I look over at my sons. I look back at the tow truck. Me and the guy, we do the guy thing. I do and he does that's the signal that I understand what he's doing. I look over at my sons, and I said to my sons, don't worry. The car is just going to the garage. I lied. And it was in that moment of me lying to my sons that I felt like a failure as a husband, because again, I was going through a divorce, not for the first time, but for the second time. Now, you go through a divorce, that's challenging. If you've ever been through a relationship where you thought things were going to work out, it doesn't, it's tough. Do it twice, okay? Then I was an entrepreneur because I got laid off of my business and I was burning through my 401ks and I'm out of money. So I'm a failure as an entrepreneur. And now I'm in a situation where my car is being repossessed. My lights have been turned off in the past, and now I'm lying to my sons. It was in that moment. You said, what was my comeback moment? It was in that moment that I had what I call the never again moment. Now, if you're out there listening and you're out there watching right now, what was your never again moment? When something happened to you, you said, it's a defining moment. Never again would I lie to my sons. Never again would I hit the light switch, and guess what? The lights don't come on. Never again would my car be repossessed. Not for the first time, but the second time, but the third time. Never again. And it was in that never again moment I made a decision. Do you make a decision? You said, never again will my weight get to this height. Never again will I max out my credit cards. Never again would I let a relationship go the way it went without trying to tune in. Well, I had the never again moment. What was your never again moment? And I said, you know what? I've got to crack this code of entrepreneurship. I'm going to have to get a job. And that was my comeback. But I wish I could say I did it by myself. I wish I could say I watched some YouTube videos. I wish I could say I watched a few things on Facebook. That stuff didn't exist back then. I wish I could say I read a book and there was a revelation. But no, what I did, and I'm coming back to you now, Beata, is I decided to hire a guy named Eric Lofthome. And the reason I went to him, because that's what he done. He helped folks build their business and learn something called sales. And I hated selling. Oh my gosh, I didn't want to freaking sell. That's the last thing. But I had a problem. I hated selling, but I needed it. Don't you hate selling, but you need the money to pay your mortgage? You hate selling, but you need the money to pay your healthcare insurance. You hated selling, but you need the money to buy right food that you need to fuel your body. And so I had to learn the one skill. That was my never again moment. That was my comeback moment that would help me. But he gave me one idea, and I'm coming to you right now. He gave me an idea in that comeback moment. Think about yourself. Think about what's holding you back. Think about some things you've wanted to do, and it has to shift your mindset. And I love your whole saying here. I love what you believe so fervently. It's right on the page, but you always say, change your story so you can change your life. I had to change my story. And in that moment, he said, Shay, let me give you 3 words. I said, huh? In his seminar, $5,000, which I borrowed from a family member, and here it is. He said, selling equals service, Shay. Selling equals service, Shay. Selling equals service. You write that down. If you're an entrepreneur and you hate to sell, what if we just change and said that selling equals service? How can I serve more people with the gifts and talents that I have so they can have more out of life, so they can do more, be more, and have more? And when I embraced that one idea that I'm not going to sell nobody, I'm not going to convince nobody, I'm not going to make anybody do anything, I felt better as a human being. And so now, almost 20 years later, my philosophy is we're going to sell, but we're going to serve. Jot this down in your notes, and I close with this. That was my defining moment. That one moment changed forever how I see an entrepreneur. Here's my core philosophy. Don't chase the money. Add value, and the money will chase you. So how can you add value to other people's lives? How can you serve? You do that, and it makes it different. That was a defining moment. It was a comeback moment for me because we've gone on now to build 2, 3, and 4 businesses. Back over to you now.
Wow. We just started. It's just 3 minutes in, and we have all these golden thoughts. Well, just for everyone who is joining us, I'm with Che Brown, and we are talking about, especially to people that are entrepreneurs or the one that think about that. And Che is sharing about what was his defining this comeback moment. And I love, oh my goodness, never again moment.
Yeah.
Don't we all have it? I wrote it down. It's going to be on my wall now. Never again moment. Think about that. And I also love you said, I hated selling, but I knew I needed. How many of us, we have stuff, especially entrepreneurs, that we hate to do, so we procrastinate or put it on the side. Okay, I will do it tomorrow. And then we are like in the cycle, doing same stuff over and over. I love it. Selling is a service. Oh my goodness. You speak to me like directly to, I was like poked. Yeah, I still struggle with it. I offer service, but I don't like pushing. So I hate, I learned to love selling, but I hate it. I like you. But I have another question, because we human, not only entrepreneurs, but all human, we are so afraid of setbacks. We avoid setbacks, and when we face it, sometimes we have just this moment that we don't want to do anything. We hide, we avoid, we just are like a fight flight moment when you freeze at the end. So how can this setback can actually be the reason for our progress? Is it a bright side at all of the setback?
I recall in business when my very first client, it was the biggest client that I'd ever worked with, and this was about 10 years ago. And I had an agreement, a contract with this client. And having this agreement with this client, and for the entrepreneurs out there, you may be able to relate to this. When you finally land your biggest client, think back to your biggest client, and the money's coming in, and it's a profitable deal. If you're not an entrepreneur, you'll still be able to relate to this because I'm going to share with you in just a moment. This is very important for you, how you can use a setback to be a lesson learned. But here's what took place. I gave it my all. I mean, I gave it everything we had as a company. It was a big contract for us. And so what I end up doing is about a year later. So this is a good year. You have a year in business. It's great. We go back and we renew the contract. Now, we had some discussions. They loved what we were doing. We were getting good feedback. And then I'm waiting like, how come the contract's not signed? What's going on? I mean, they're still paying us and we're 30 days in and we're going to the second 30 days. And then I had the conversation. You ever had the conversation? Someone said, okay, it's time to talk. What is there to talk about? You just signed the contract. We already got a price point. And it said, hey, I love what you're doing, but I decided to go in a different direction. Has nothing to do with you. Love what you're doing. Love everything, but we're gonna go with someone different this time. Now, let me ask a question as you're watching right now, and some of you are listening right now. Have you ever got hit with the punch you never saw coming? Maybe it wasn't a big contract for you. Maybe for you, it was an email from a family member where something had gone wrong. Maybe it was you going to the doctor and you arrived at the doctor and the doctor gave some news for you or someone else and it hit you like you never saw it coming. Maybe it was the relationship that someone said, I no longer want to do this. It's over. I'm floored. I'm lost. And I had a big problem by then because I got caught so much up in this and I love what I'm doing. I took my eye off the ball of other things like generating leads, building the business, other relationships in the business, because this was a feeder. Now, I'm not suggesting that's happened, but how many of you have done that? You're rising up in corporate America, or you're rising up in your job. You're doing well as an entrepreneur, but your health is suffering because you're not drinking the water you know you should drink. You're not eating fruits and vegetables. You're not even going to the gym anymore. It's a problem. I had the same problem. And so I didn't know what to do. And I panicked. Have you ever found yourself panicking? Like she said, Shay, what happens? I panic. What do I do in a situation like this? And I had a coach I was working with. This is bad. But I have a philosophy that has stuck with me through time. I want to share it with you because it's one of my 12 rules for life that you can apply to business. And in this case, I didn't know now that that's what I was doing, but it's what I told myself. And you jot this down in your notes. It's very simple. It's going to be easy and you're not going to get blown away, but it will change your life. It's 4 words or 5 words. Systems beat goals every single time. Let me say that again to you. Systems beat goals every single time. It's about being a comeback champion. Systems are duplicatable. Systems are repeatable. And systems is something that you can hand over to someone else. So when I stepped in that situation and I was lost and didn't know what to do, I had to go back and I started thinking of what could I do? What were the systems? Well, as an entrepreneur, the number one challenge facing entrepreneurs every day, and I was facing that. So I know about this. Many of the clients I work with know about this, is having a pipeline of leads that turns into buyers. And if you're an entrepreneur, you're always wondering, how can I get in front of someone and help them solve their problem? I didn't have that there. And I said, oh my gosh, what can I do? How can I get back on track? And isn't life like that? What is your system for generating qualified leads? What is your system for finding people who actually have the money and have an interest, want, or desire? Now, when I was coming along, I used to say, find someone that has a problem or has a need. But someone can want to lose weight and never go to the gym. Someone could need to save more or spend less they make and never do anything about it. But if I have an interest, a want, or a desire, and I'm guilty, I love t-shirts, I'm a runner, so I buy all type of stuff. I promise you, if I see a t-shirt that I want and it's $20 and I want it, I'm going to order it. I'm going to pay $25 to have it tomorrow if it's not on Amazon, and I'm happy. I pay double. And so you got to find someone who just has a desire. And so to answer your question, what I've learned is when you have these lessons, and isn't that what being a comeback champion is about? There's a lesson, something happened. It's how can I take that lesson and learn from that failure and turn that into a lesson? What I turned it into was stay the course. Jot this down in your notes. Stay the course. When things are good, you rely on your principles. What systems do I have in place that I know keep me in business? Generating leads keeps me in business. Setting appointments keeps me in business. Being able to let people know that I'm the bridge from where they are as an entrepreneur to get all the resources they need to execute the vision they have for the people they were called to serve. And that one bridge that we all got to cross back and forth, there's only one bridge to get you there, and that's sales. When you generate some revenue and you serve someone, the money comes back. You take that money and you get a new website. You take that money, you hire a coach. You take that money, you go buy Facebook ads. You take that money and you hire a VA or a project manager. You make a difference for other folks. So it's never about the money. It's about the meaning that you can have with other folks. It's never about the income. It's the impact. And if you're an entrepreneur right now, you're feeling me, go ahead and look right below the video and write those words. It's time to make $1 and a difference at the same time. So I've taken lessons, and that was a setback. Biggest client gone. What do? Well, I could quit, sit on the side, or I could slowly crawl back in. And you don't have to worry about that. Systems beat goals every single time. You look at any area of your life that is lacking, it comes down to a system. Just real quick, if I can tell a quick story. I'm currently all in, by the way. I have my AARP card these days. I'm part of the Puff Daddy generation. I got remix version on everything, by the way. So, I'm so bad that I've got like 3 gym memberships, right? I go to Planet Fitness because it's less than 300 yards from my house, open 24 hours. I go to a Gold's Gym and multiple Gold's Gyms, and that's only about 3 miles down. Then I got a personal trainer that comes to my house, and we get a chance to work out, and we go to different gyms and work out. Why do I tell you that? What's the importance to you? The importance to you is I think about LeBron James, and I read that he spends $1 million on his body. Not because he plays the NBA, but because he wants clarity, he wants focus, he wants creativity, he wants stamina. And how can you relate that to yourself? What is something you can do to change a system right now that allows you to serve more people at a greater value? Maybe it's being more creative. Maybe for you, it's being more productive. Maybe for you, it's spending more time with your kids, and it makes you feel better. When you feel better, that energy fuels everything else. Take any setback you had and turn it into a comeback. Systems beat goals every single time. Jot it down. What's your system to help you be able to serve other people faster?
Wow. I couldn't I was writing down like crazy so I can have these notes and drop them under our video later. Thank you so much. What stood out for me, I love it. It's not about money. It's about meaning. It's about systems. Systems beats goals every time. Wow. Where do you get people this kind of advice, this kind of knowledge for free? Only here on this show. So thank you so much. And you said something that, you said a lot of things, but meaning, because the title of this show is Meaningful Conversations. So, and you said it's not about money, about meaning. And we always, for me, meaning is in service. Tell me how you make difference for your clients, for your people in your life, serving them in a meaningful way.
Yeah, in a meaningful way, the 2 things that we're focused on is really about engagement and the experience. And what I've learned by being a business owner, I was working with a client recently, and we're working on a project they're working on. And I asked, what's the number one outcome you want from this project? And the person kept saying over and over again, they want to make sure they're giving the best customer service experience, that the client feels good about it. And I said, okay, so I'm hearing the word experience, right? They said, yeah. But I'm also understanding where we are in today's world. For those folks that are watching right now, and in this media world we're in this self-education industry that we all belong into, and helping other folks based on what we've learned out of life, that is really all about engagement. It's no longer, as I was sharing with the client, just about, well, can I have 3 million views? No, I could have 10 views. And if I'm engaging my audience and my audience is there and I'm serving a purpose, then isn't that a good use of your time? And so how we serve folks faster and better in other ways is 2 questions. How are we different and why are we better? How we're different as an organization, our number one goal is our speed to market. We understand that the client makes the final decision. Sometimes we've got to change the product that we're offering. Sometimes we've got to change how we're communicating to the product. we teach something called neural linguistic sales. Everyone jot this down in your notes. I wasn't going to say this, but I'll back up and I'll do a teachable moment, right? Because she said, Shay, how are you adding more value in the market? How are you doing something? This is a meaningful conversation. So jot this down in your notes. It's called signature selling style plus buyer's profile equals signature selling style plus buyer's profile plus neural linguistic sales equals a sales visionary. It equals a sales visionary. And this is very important because you don't want to sell, but you want to help folks, right? And how did I come up with this formula? And this is how we're making our mark in the world. This is how we're bringing something unique and different. This is our unique selling proposition, if you want to call it that, is that I learned, like Beatrice said in the very beginning, I don't really like selling. And I heard that for like 15 years. And I discovered that it wasn't that people didn't like selling. I did not like selling. You know what I didn't like? Being unauthentic. I didn't like sounding like a book that I read. I hated reading scripts so I could say these words in a certain order. Jot this down in your notes. Scripts are for actors, and you're not an actor. You're not an actor. You don't need scripts for an actor. So I hated doing that. I hated trying to sell like a man or sell like a woman. I wanted to just be myself. So I didn't hate selling, but everything that I was taught and programmed to do was to do it a certain way. And there's a certain formula. And if you follow this formula, they'll go buy something at the end. And I didn't feel good. So I said, what if, and this is how things get started, what if we created a methodology based on your DNA, based on your unique voice, based on your experience? What if, based on all your expertise, you could just have a conversation and be you? If they want to do it, great. And if not, no big deal. But you feel good about you solving a problem. So we created something called signature selling style. So we did kind of do Myers-Briggs, and there's personality types out there. We create this questionnaire. There's no cost for it. And you take this questionnaire, and there's 7 different unique selling styles. And then we created it. Let me give you 2 or 3 in the time that I have. And this is very, very important because she says, what are you doing, Shay? How are you helping other folks? Well, number 1, they learn their signature selling style. So they at least know what they're going to say. So there's the intuitive signature selling style. The intuitive signature selling style, they sell based on intuition. This might be you. You tune in. Now, even if you say, I'm not an entrepreneur, this is just meaningful conversation, Shay. Well, think about this. Pastors sell faith every single week. Teachers sell education every single day. I have kids. They do that every single day. Parents sell values every single day. So when you show up, even right now, you're selling your ideas, you're selling your beliefs, you're selling your thoughts, you're selling your values. We're always selling. So when you want to know your signature selling style, so intuitive sales based on intuition. They don't write anything down. They can show up at a meeting, and based on intuition, based on the vibes and feeling, that's how they move people to action. That's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is they float like a butterfly, and they just try to be brilliant off the top of their head. It lands on some days, and other days they walk out saying, I wasn't my best today. But they have some pluses and minuses. Are you an intuitive signature selling style? You just come off the top of your head? And then there's others that are listening right now. You're the scientist selling style. You sell based on facts and data. You can tell them exactly when, where, how, and so forth. And you feel more comfortable asking them to take action once they know that. And then others of you out there, you're listening, you're the rock star signature selling style. The rock star signature selling style, and they sell based on charisma. You think of Tony Robbins, you think of Eric, the hip hop preacher, and they're like, if I've done it, you can do it. Raise your standards, change your mind. What's going on? I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. I love him. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, that's great for you, dude. But what about me? That's not how I sell. But that may be how I can learn. And maybe some of you like myself. I can't get into all of them. Maybe it should have me back for another time to break this thing down. But maybe you're the heart center selling style. Now, each of these have their own selling style, their own closing style, their own story style. So the heart center selling style, they sell from the heart. There's an emotional connection. They're going to be themselves. They're going to put the cards on the table, which is how I talk. Very conversational. It is what it is. If you like it, you like it. If not, it doesn't matter. I'm helping people anyway. And I'm only trying to attract people who are attracted to my signature selling style. Makes it so much easier for marketing because I don't have to be anybody but me. I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. But I could be for you. So signature selling style separated us from everybody else out there because now you know your own style. The second is buyer's profile, topic for another time, but you got to understand not only how you sell, but how people buy. There's different personality types. And the last one is the most important one that I want to share with you, because for so long, when people used to give me sales scripts that I hated saying, for so long, I used to wonder, did I say the right thing? And what words should I use? And what is all this stuff? I was never taught that, but it's what if I have a one signature selling style, which is heart-centered, but I'm dealing with a personality, a buyer's profile that just wants the facts. Give it to me. It's going to be a disconnection. So sometimes that happens. So how can I not adapt to who I am, but how can I speak their language? Imagine for a moment you're back in the day and there's a radio in front of you. We used to have this back in my youthful days. And in order to listen to the radio, my sons don't have to deal with this right now. You had to tune in. And if you couldn't tune in right to the right station, like, hello, hello. And imagine that's what's happening with you. You're trying to communicate to someone, but your signature selling style is different than buyer's profile. It's like having, well, for the young folks out there, slow internet, dial up. God, mercy, Jesus. No. And so reason I tell you this story is that I want you to understand this last part. And this is one idea. Put this idea in your notes. Your words will make you rich. Your words will make you rich. You get better at what you say, when you say it, and how you say it. You'll be more powerful. You'll be more persuasive. You'll have more influence. You'll serve more people. You'll help more people. At the end of the day, you'll make your life better, your family better, and your community better. It's called neural linguistic sales, something that we teach now, which is understanding the language patterns and how it impacts the sales process and using it for good. Now, see, that's a combination. And isn't that how life is? There isn't one key. Some people say, well, just give me the magic pill. No, you're taking a pill over here. You're taking a pill over here. You're taking a pill over there. There's several keys you need to crack this code of success. And so we've got 3. But when you lock in all 3, it's like being laser focused. So here's what I close with. Be yourself. Selling is fun, easy, and effortless when you follow a system, you speak from the heart, and you sell to serve. Put that in your notes. Sell to serve. Shay does what? Sell to serve. I'm doing a disservice if I don't share with you how I can help you, whether you work with me or not. I'm doing you a disservice. I'm the bridge between where you are and where you want to get to. You can get there without me. That's fine. But you can get there faster coming across this bridge. That's what makes us unique and different from other folks.
Wow. So just for everyone who is joining us still, I see you and people, you can show up. I can't see your names, but you can write a comment. You have also a chance to ask the question. He is here, the master of sales. He's here. Please ask the questions. Just to remind, you said number 1, it was signature sales style. Number 2 was buyer's profile, and the third one, it was neuro-linguistic sales. It was,
yes.
Okay. I was wondering if I got it right. All right. I love how you talk about sales. I love that you teach people the technique that is not pushy, and it's not about, just go and focus on money and just get them to buy. No, it's about the service. Show them what you can offer, show them how you can add meaning through your service to their life. That I love it. And well, now my question will be kind of probably different.
Sure.
But you talk a lot, and I follow you on social media. You talk a lot about your sons that you are very proud of, and yes, congratulations. So once you said in one of your videos or posts that you learn one very important, many, but this is very important lesson that you learn from your sons. What is it?
There's a lot of lessons that I've learned from my son, and one of the ones I think that I posted recently really came from my daughter-in-law, and that was, well, let me frame the conversation for you. I have a son who's 31, Che Jr., and I have a younger son, Charles, and he's 29, at least at the time of this recording. And I get a chance to spend time with them. And it's really cool to be able to do that, because there was a time Dad wasn't cool, right? But I think I'm back to being cool now. And so I got a chance to go to my daughter-in-law, and she does this fitness class called Butts and Guts. and it's all about aerobics, and it's a class she does every week, and women come out and they're there for one reason only, and that is to get back in shape and feel good about themselves. Not about shape, but to feel good about themselves. And what I learned from that one experience there, and this was recently something that I talked about, is that the only person stopping you from getting in shape or getting whatever you want in life is you. Like the common denominator from where I'm at today, think about where you are today in your health. Think about where you are with your finances. Think about where you are with your relationships. Think about where you are in your business. Think about just where you are in writing the books that you want or the impact you want to have in the world. And you're where you are now because of all the decisions that you make. And the only thing that's stopping you from where you want to go is you. And if you don't like something, you can just change it. Isn't that so cool? Isn't that amazing? So what I've learned from them, and I learned from her there, is that the only thing stopping you, Shay, is you. Let me tell you a quick story. I'm learning how to take photos, right? So I'm taking pictures with a camera, and it's complicated, right? Because you've got the f-stop with so many English and aperture, and they're just supposed to come together with the shutter speed and all this other cool stuff that goes on. And I was getting frustrated. And I even hired a coach. When you get my age, you just, you want to pay. You don't have time to be fumbling around and trying to figure out what's going on. You want to pay someone to help you do this, right? And it was complicated. And so I started to put it down. Then my son, who's into video, said, Dad, here's some things you can do. Here's what to look at. When you take a photo, you've got to look at the back of it and see if it came out. And if not, you got to take the same picture again and adjust the lighting and some other things. Isn't that how life is? Think about it. Isn't that how life is? You try something, and the first time it doesn't work, you got to get back and doing it again, and then you try it again. How is that related in your life? How have you found yourself in that situation? So what I learned from them is, you know what? Jot this in your notes. You don't have to get it right. You just got to get going sometime. You don't have to get it right. You just have to get going. And so I got going again. And what I admire about the women who show up every Saturday, and I've been taking photos there of the classes and so forth, is that they show up. And the only thing that's stopping them from getting better, the only thing stopping them from happiness, the only thing stopping them from the next level, whatever the next level is. For some of you, you're coming back right now. Life's kind of punched you in the face. It's sucker punched you. And others of you, you're already on the fast track, but you have one common belief. Jot this down in your notes. And it's the belief that you can always get better. Successful people hold one common belief. They can always get better. So what I learned from my son, and here's the point in question she asked, is the only thing stopping me from being the best version of me is me. And the only thing that may be stopping you right now from being the best version of you, from you writing that book that you want to write, from you taking photography, if that's what you want to do, from you taking cooking lessons, if that's what you want to do, from you starting the business, is you. Let me tell you something that I think is going to help you. And this comes from my father. His name is Marshall Brown. He's no longer with us. He's passed away May 2nd, 2017. And he was in Washington, D.C. for many, many years into politics. He used to work at the Ben's Chili Bowl, which down in Washington, D.C., for those that don't know, is one of the historical places to go. And he would be sharing the history of what's going on in the city. And one of the things that he used to do when he was doing his talks, he used to always make this point. He used to always say, if it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. But if it's hard, it's the first thing you should do. And he'd be given that as part of his success lessons thing that he would talk about. And whenever he said that, I always wait for someone in the audience to always raise their hand, and they would ask the question, Mr. Brown, why do you say if it's easy to do, it's easy not to do? And if it's hard, do the hard things first. Why do you say that? And he would laugh. And I can see that big smile on his face right now. And he would say, doing the hard things in life develops discipline. Now, isn't that the bridge between where we are today and where we want to go? The question was asked, what's the common denominator, Shay, of a comeback champion, of someone that has to bounce back stronger than where they start at? I would say it's discipline. My father had a formula, and his formula was this: D plus D equals D. Jot this down in your notes. I want to share this with you because this is all about meaningful conversations right now. So D plus D equals D. Let me go ahead and put that down in your notes. It's decisions plus discipline equals dominion. Now, this is very, very important. Decisions plus discipline equals dominion. So decisions are making a decision you're going to do something. And a lot of folks raise their hands. Tony Robbins got that thing right. He's like, in our moments of decision that our destinies is determined. And he was so right. He was right on target. I'm part of the Puff Daddy generation. Okay, we got remix versions on everything. My father, Marshall Brown, would say, yeah, you can make all the decisions you want. You made a decision on January 1st, and there were some resolutions you did, but you ain't doing anything. You've got to add discipline. And discipline, he would say, is doing the things you know you should do when you don't feel like doing it. When you have decisions and you have the discipline, that equals dominion. Now, I grew up in a Pentecostal church, so, dominion means you have control over everything going on. If you don't like that word, it's okay. Use dominate. But what's the opposite of that? The opposite of that is decisions minus discipline equal a disaster. So when you look at your life and you wonder why you're not hitting some of your goals, you wonder why you're not seeing the success, ask yourself, did I have the discipline? Maybe you knew what to do, you just didn't take action. The universe, put this in your notes, rewards people who take action differently than those that don't. So what's my message to you? What's the takeaway? What area can you improve in discipline? Systems beat goals every single time. Goals are in the future. You're never in the future. By definition, the future does not exist. Our mind only operates in 3 quadrants that I'm aware of: the past, which does no longer exist, the present, which you're in, and the future, which you never get to the future. You're always in the present moment. There's a moment, there's a moment, there's a moment. So you're never in the future. So what system do you have in place that's going to beat any goals that you set up? I am driving the point back to systems beat goals every single time. I'm driving the point back to you've got to have the discipline after you make the decision. And I am driving the point back down to how can you help more people get what they want out of life so that you can be more fulfilled, have greater happiness, have more joy, and live the life that you deserve. Not that you deserve for yourself, but you deserve so you can gift it on and pass that on to someone else. Isn't that what it's all about?
Absolutely. I cannot imagine better summary to finish that conversation. Yes, it's all about happiness, and we achieve it and enjoy through serving others. And thank you so much for sharing all the wisdom today. Tell us, Che, how people can reach out to you, how they can, what is the easiest way to find you, about you, and how you can help them?
For those folks out there, I want to learn more about you as well, because you got a chance to learn about me, but I can't see you. You can see me, but I can't see you. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to open up a browser right now and just go to www.salesteamguru.com. Now, when you go to www.sales, S-A-L-E-S, for those that are listening, team, T-E-A-M, guru, G-U-R-U, for those that are on the podcast right now. But those that can see it, you can see it says salesteamguru.com. Just follow the directions. Now, why would you do that? You want to stay in the conversation about having sales, about having success, but more importantly, how you can help more people faster, easier, with less effort. And it's time for you to do that. You know that this is your moment. You know this is your time. So go to www.salesteamguru.com. Let us help you help the world by having the resources you need to make a bigger difference. You're amazing already. You're already incredible. Let's do it together.
Let's do it together. Amen to that. And yes, for everyone who is watching us, please reach out to Che, and you already have all the links how to connect in my post, but I will repost it again under this video. So here, just Google Che Brown and you will be there. Like, he is everywhere. And I know that you are doing something cool soon. So the summit,
Yes, we have a summit called Comeback Champion Summit, and the mission, the overall mission of this is to help people have a stronger comeback, really after a setback, so they can make a bigger difference to other folks that are out there. And you hear me say that over and over again, because we believe in the accents of you've got to be able to serve. You got to be able to help other folks first. So Comeback Champion Summit. We've brought the best of the best together to share not only their lessons, not only their story, but more importantly, share their principles and their framework and the systems they've used, not only to bounce back, not only come back stronger, but have more impact, have more influence, have more joy, have more peace, have more success in their life, and bless other people along the way.
Whoa, so powerful. Thank you so much, Che, for being here with me. If there is any last thought you want to share with our audience, especially the new entrepreneurs, the big beginners, that they have doubt, that they have setbacks, especially 2020 was not very happy for most of us. What would you say? Like, what is the one word, one sentence that you would leave them with to stay strong?
I will leave you with one of our 12 rules of life. And this is one sentence that I'll give it to you, or a few words. And here it is. It's our core belief. It's our core philosophy. It's what drives us in our company. And that is, today is my January 1st. You can write that down. Today, right in this moment, is my January 1st. I'm not going to wait for the calendar to say December 31st and magically something changes. I make a decision. There's probably 1,000 decisions you make throughout the day. And any one of those decisions could change the trajectory of my life. So today is your January 1st. This is your moment. You can take that same energy, that same excitement, and just add on the discipline. And you're on your way to having more success, helping more people, and at the end of the day, making a bigger difference in the world. This is your moment. This is your time. And today is your January 1st. The future is so bright. Put your sunglasses on. I know for you, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is still yet to come. Thanks, Beata, for having me on here. I appreciate it. Thank all of you for tuning in and watching. We appreciate it. Come back. See all the other guests. I'm just one in a long list of folks she has. But I'm so excited to be here. So thanks for having me on this platform. And thank all of you for giving me your time. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And you're here now. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And for everyone who is watching or will is gonna watching us later, please share with others, because you never know who might need to hear that conversation. See you next week at noon Tuesday, every Tuesday, meaningful conversations with special people, change makers, and the one that the service is the key to life, not just money, but the service and the meaning that they share with it. So thank you so much, Che. You were, wow. I have to watch it probably 3 times to make sure that I got everything. It's just that I get a webinar that people are paying a lot of money for. So everyone, again, share, like, and don't remember to sign up for my YouTube channel. So thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.